Hey, how's it going, guys? This is your boy, Risen Rival. And today we're talking about something that it's about time everybody knows. Because we're going to talk about how to AVA. And the reason that it's important to know this is because when you learn how to AVA, you realize that AVA is like its own game. It's like super deep. It's got its own strategy. If you thought, the battle was a strategy, AVA is something completely different. It's it'll blow you away how much content there is, how much you can make out of it if you're really good, if you practice, if you show up, if you do what you need to do. I want to open up and say that the requirements for AVA is level 50 plus. That's all you need to be, okay? And if you are level 50 plus, then if you're level 50, we need you. If you're level 50, we need you. Because 4 level 50s is more useful than 1 200. If you have 4 level 50s, you can get a lot more done. Because AVA is a numbers game. It's not necessarily about who's the strongest. I mean, sure, you need your main battle team to be able to put up a fight and hold back your players. Like if you know American football, the level 2. If you know American football, the level 200s are the offensive line, and then there's the flank team, which is the receiver, and the swarm of pawns, the level 50s are actually the quarterback. The quarterback make the throw. So you got, the level 50s throwing the ball, level 200s holding the enemy team from attacking your quarterback, and then the flank team is receiving the ball and going for a touchdown. So I understand this is a very European game. I hope you guys understand American football. It's a very strategic game, very fun to watch. All right, so let's talk about why does AVA exist? Well, first of all, what I will be teaching you specifically is called King of the Hill, okay? People call it AVA. Most of the time when people are referring to AVA, they're talking about King of the Hill. Or you might see KOTH, but you won't see that because on Grand Japan they just don't say King of the Hill. I've never heard anyone say King of the Hill, but that's what it's called. And how is this initiated? How do you get King of the Hill to come around? How do you get that set time that everyone's supposed to meet and do a thing, right? So basically, you have 5 level 200s or a battle team of some sort that attack a prism. And what's a prism? A prism is this little gem that's sitting inside a receptor that floats around a certain map. And in that map belongs to a certain territory. And the purpose of AVA is to capture that territory. Why do we want to capture that territory? Because it gives you XP bonus if you fight and win in that territory. It gives you loot drop bonus, and you can put a teleport module on the prism and be able to teleport there. Ultimately, if we get a whole bunch of prisms, you won't have to walk anymore. You'll just teleport places. So it's a nice advantage. It's really nice to be able to just tell, we have people who are leveling in Frigost 1, then you can just teleport to exactly the territory that you want to go, and you don't have to walk all the way from the village. So prisms are the best. How is the AVA initiated? How's the King of the Hill initiated? It's initiated through attacking a prism. So we would send 5 level 200s like me. We'd head over to a prism, attack it, and then the alliance who the prism belongs to will defend the prism. And whoever wins 5v5, whoever manages to beat the other team And if we kill the prism, then the prism becomes vulnerable. If they successfully defend the prism, or we successfully defend the prism, the king of the hill never happens. They successfully defended the prism, and then the prism locks down. You can't attack it again for like 24 hours. What time is king of the hill? King of the hill is the time that is set on the prism by the defending team. So they can set that if this prism becomes vulnerable, then we will defend it at this time. And there's a strategy that I don't myself partake in, but I understand some people partake in, where they'll send a spy to another team, gain access to certain rights, and change prism times so that it's to a more advantageous time. For example, setting it for the middle of the night and have a few people show up and nobody shows up from them and you take the prism. So it's a numbers game. King of the hill is really who has the most people show up. So ultimately, you can have a strong main team, but how many people are there is the number one factor. So how do you play? How do you do it? How do you win AvA? How do you win King of the Hill? So let me explain. So here we have, it's a Borg territory. I'm not sure which Borg territory. But in this Borg territory, we've got a few maps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 maps total on this Borg outpost, whatever this territory is. So what you want is you want to hold maps. And what is holding a map? That is basically when we hold a map when we have the most of our alliance members standing on each map. So if you have a map with 2 of our members, and by the way, when I say map, I mean this. That's a map. Okay? This one rectangle here, that's a map. Okay? So if we have 2 alliance members standing on this map, and the enemy has 1 alliance member standing on the map, then we have control of the map. We are holding the map. All right, so let's say it looks like this. What you see here is that the blue are maps where the enemy has more players standing on the map, on each map, than we do. So over here might have 2 of them and 1 of us, or none of us. And then over here, 3 of us and 4 of them. And over here, we could have, we're winning this map, so we have 3 on there, but they have 2. So what does this mean? So because elite, let's say elite is the blue, because elite is holding more maps than we are, so they're holding 5 maps and we're holding 3 maps, that means they are holding the territory. As long as they're holding the territory, it starts a timer. So right now, if this was the situation, then a timer would start. So let's say that timer gets to 5 minutes. And we move some players around and manage to take more maps than them. Then we would start our timer. Our timer would start. And how do you win? You win because you got your timer to 30 minutes. The team that gets their timer to 30 minutes first wins the territory. And then the AvA is won. And then the winning person, if the attackers win the territory, they have to place a new prism to claim the territory, and that's very important. So let's talk about team roles. There's 3 kinds of teams. There's the main attack team, the flank team, and the swarm. Okay? So the main attack team, that's your 5 level 200s, right? Probably the best way to go about that is to have a team of 8, including 5 of your main team and 3 of your flank team. And this protects you from multiple people getting hit at once and breaking up your team. You can still have your flank team jump in and save your teammates from being outnumbered. But your main attack team should have one player that initiates the battle with the enemy's main attack team. So let's say that we are all at prism. All the main attack team and the flank team are at the prism. So, and you want to show up early. You want to show up early so that you can take territories before the timer starts. As soon as the timer starts, everyone is just going to start attacking each other. So you would want your main attack team to attack the opponent's main attack team. And the reason for this is because you hold the main attack team back from sweeping the entire territory of your swarm. And your swarm is your level 50s, who are very important. They play their own role. So your main attack team is going to attack the opponent's main attack team. Your flank team, this is going to be 3 to 5. Not necessarily have to be endgame players, but 190 plus, maybe 185, something like that. And you're going to have 3 to 5 of those people, and those people are just going to ambush level 190 plus. If you ambush the enemy's 190 plus, most likely they're not going to be defended with a lot of reinforcement, which would give us the option to pick off the 190s. Because their 190s are an issue. Because their 190s can be used to kill our swarm. The swarm's job, which is the level 50s to level 100, to level 50 to level 180 pretty much, is considered swarm. And the swarm, their job is to spread out. So they're the ones who are claiming these maps. So your swarm would basically be a level 50 over here, a level 50 on this map, a level 50 on this map, a level 50 on this map, this map, this map, this map, this map, one over here, one over here. And if you are able to put one of the swarm of pawns, so if you're able to put one pawn on each map of the territory, then whatever's left over just doubles up. So you'll have 2 here, 2 here, 2 here, 2 here. And I think it's very important for the pawns to have group leaders. You need shift leaders, you know? You need people who will group up with you and essentially stay in nearby maps so that if you get attacked by like a 190 or something like that, then you can all come in and try to defend. But honestly, the best thing to do is to just stand your ground. So all your level 50s would just hold on to these territories and stand there until they're attacked. And most likely, if they get in a fight, the level 50 to 150s will be fighting against other level 50s to 150s. So what's going to happen is, if you get attacked, what you should do is either you're strong enough to defeat them, or if you know that you cannot win, then what you do is run, block, and use your entire time, your entire turn. So your turn is like what, 40 50 seconds long. So just use the entire 50 seconds. Run and just wait for the entire, what is it? It's like 30 seconds. So wait the entire 30 seconds. Maybe 20 seconds. I have no clue. And this way that you are pulling that enemy out of the fight. You're occupying them with fighting you instead of making themselves useful somewhere else. Also, another strategy if you're from the swarm of pawns is to attack passing by high-level players. So if you see a guy passing by and they look like they're very strong, attack them and then stall, because then you pull them out of the fight and they can't leave until they kill you, because if they leave, they kick themselves out. They turn into a grave and then they can be undertaken. Which brings me to my next point. Individual roles. There are 3 roles, which to get a role, you go to the Alliance Temple and you talk to this old guy with a beard and a priest hat next to the Alliance Zap, the Alliance Temple Zap, and you ask him to be one of the 3 roles: an Undertaker, a Healer, and a Sentinel. An Undertaker basically either kills someone themselves or waits for someone to die. You use the Undertaker potion. For some reason, they made it very confusing. You have to tap it, and then you'll see a menu open up, and you have to hold down the target button and drag it to the grave. Then you wait 10 seconds, and after 10 seconds, the grave disappears. So Undertakers use Undertaker potions. Healers use Healer potions. And what Healers do is they click on the Healer potion, hold down target, and drag it to an allied grave. And if you drag your Healer potion to an allied grave, then in 10 seconds, you can respawn the ally who died. So you can either make yourself useful as a healer or Undertaker by finding these graves, or by being called in the Alliance chat, because most likely you'll hear someone say, "We need a healer at this cell," and then you run there and you use your Healer potion. Sentinels, not very important. They can be important for swarm players. Yeah, ultimately, a Sentinel who is a level 50 would use a Sentinel potion so that it activates their Sentinel status, and then anyone who passes by, they automatically attack, which is good to prevent someone who's high level from running away. So it's essentially a trap. You're a walking trap. Some level 200 walks by, and you as a level 50 automatically engage a fight with him. And then you can have whatever your party is run in, as many as you think are useful of your squad, to come in to defend against the 200 and make a more effective stall. Now, your main team and your flank team, what do they do after their fight? So what's going to happen is they're either, so let's say our main team dies. So if your main team or flank team dies, then they're out of the game unless someone can come and heal them. But if they win, they do not pursue the winning team, other team. They do not pursue other high-level players. As soon as you win and knock out the high-level players you are just fighting, you spread out like cockroaches. Just spread out as fast as you can and run onto all the other maps and start sweeping the opponent's swarm. Run all across the territory and start killing level 50s. Just knock them out. Kill them, kill them, kill them. Try to kill them as quickly as possible. And then go to the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And start sweeping them, and eventually you will take control of the map if you're at a disadvantage. Then you accumulate your 30 minutes and you win. And then don't forget to place a prism. And placing prism is a very exclusive right, but we have plenty of people who can do it. I want to make some notes, some very important things that should be mentioned. A numerous swarm. If we have a lot of level 50s attend, level 50 or greater, then we can take a match, even if we have a terrible main team and flank team. Not terrible, but if our main team loses and our flank team wins, or, whatever, then you would still be able to hold the timer long enough that whatever of our team does win should be able to stall the opponent and keep our level 50s alive. Because our level 50s are straight up part of the strategy of the game. I also want to note once again that this is my strategy. And it being my strategy means that it is totally debatable. Because people disagree with me all the time. So if you feel like my strategy can be improved, then please, YouTube has a comment section, beautifully placed right under my video. You can scroll down, go right there, and tell me however you feel. And we can discuss it, okay? So thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and you can contact me at any time on the Legion Discord. Or if you are really desperate to talk to me, you can go to the DOFUS Touch Discord, and you'll find me in the members list as Risen, R-I-S-E-N. Thank you very much, and we had a good time, and that's what we came here for.